Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Software Engineer K, and we have some pretty awesome stuff today. So we have some big updates regards to the upcoming drop this Saturday, so I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on it, as well as a few bits of discrepancies regards to the tagging, and we also have a new partnership announcement, so I'm going to be going through some of my other licenses that could be speculated with it. And I did also want to touch on some updates regards to VeVe's figures, since we do have some more data now, just because a lot of people are trying to model it and link it back to OMI burn, which is quite important. You know, a lot of people in VeVe are also OMI holders, so it only makes sense. Now, first off, we have VeVe partners with the Jim Henson Company. So for those who aren't aware, Jim Henson, they are the producers behind, you know, big brands such as the Muppets. Specifically, what I'm really interested in is Labyrinth, because that's a film I grew up watching. You know, it's a really, really great film. We've seen it kind of remakes of it as well, and sequels. So if you haven't seen it, maybe because if you're too young or you just never really watched it, then definitely have a watch of it. It is quite cool. And yeah, it was done in collaboration with you know, George Lucas as well at the time, so you kind of start to see some elements of, you know, sort of the Star Wars kind of effects and whatnot that they used back then as well, especially if you saw, like, you know, the old school Star Wars films as well. And yes, it also has I believe David Bowie as well, so he was a singer back then. And then, yeah, what did Dan say? So Labyrinth is one of the most iconic fantasy films of all time, so we jumped at the opportunity to partner with the Jim Henson Company on a series of digital collectibles from the film. Our community of collectors is going to love displaying these in their virtual showrooms for all to see. Dan Crovers. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to see if they do a Ludo NFT. I think that was his name, Ludo, the kind of big buffalo looking guy. But yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. Now, Jim Henson Company, as we said earlier, you know, they are behind quite a lot of big popular brands. So if we go to About Us, the company overview, you know, they kind of explain, you know, who they are. They've got a creative studio, recording studio. So, you know, it is a bit of a conglomerate, but specifically, you know, if we have a look at film, they kind of touch on, you know, Labyrinth here. The other ones, Dark Crystal, yeah, I'm kind of familiar with that. A lot of these I'm not like super familiar, but, you know, overall, you know, it is a pretty solid partnership as well. So I think we can definitely expect some of these other brands as well to come out. But if you're familiar with any of these brands, and if I have missed out any kind of major ones, so, you know, do let me know. But apart from that, you know, pretty cool stuff. Now, if we go straight to, we have the announcement with the new DC Artist Alley statues. So these are the 4 statues you're going to be getting. Now, on the version that VeVe showed, you couldn't actually see kind of below their waist. So Batgirl is on a scooter, not a bicycle, just in case anyone thought that. And Supergirl has what appears to be a super dog or a cat. I can't tell if that's a dog or a cat. I assume it's a dog, just because I know that there is like a superpowered dog in the series. But we've got the Wonder Woman here, and the artist behind this is Chrissy Zulo. And then there's the Supergirl with the kind of Pepsi logo eyes. Batgirl on the scooter, and Hawkgirl lastly. So these are pretty cool. Do they have edition sizes of these? I don't think so. So the Hawkgirl and the Wonder Woman. Now, the Hawkgirl, I believe, is definitely going to be first appearance. I just proposed this question: that is the Wonder Woman first appearance? And that's specifically because DC recently released Wonder Woman themed NFTs. Now, this isn't a premium 3D statue of Wonder Woman. It's kind of like a, you know, a bit of a gimmicky floppy disk with you know, what appears to be like the comic cover on it. So I don't think this really counts, just because VeVe, they don't count first appearances of their comic as being first appearances. So, you know, I guess this does kind of go a little bit into what Gary Vee was saying with, you know, just discrepancies between what is a first appearance. Is it, you know, is a premium statue of the character first appearance? Is it just any appearance of that character a first appearance, you know, including 2D? How does it work? So, you know, I can see the point, but personally I can also see VeVe's side. I think I would personally go with 3D statues as being first appearances. Technically, you know, yes, comics should also be included in first appearances, but I quite like VeVe's definition, because they're kind of specifically say first appearance in premium 3D digital format. So, you know, I think that does give them a little bit of room to kind of, you know, compromise on what is actually first appearance or what isn't. But these sets of NFTs did feature Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, and Green Lantern. So we know Superman, Harley Quinn, and Batman, you know, those are definitely VeVe. Green Lantern we haven't seen yet, so we haven't even seen a comic of Green Lantern yet. So we don't really do DC comics, so that makes sense. But yeah, Green Lantern, I know we should be seeing at some point soon anyway. That will be pretty cool when we do get it. But the artist, Chrissy Zulo, if you do have a look at her work, you can kind of see that, you know, her style, it makes sense. Like, I can kind of see like where it came from. Personally, I do prefer this style to the Mighties, but she's been doing some stuff with League of Legends recently. So she's got Vi there and Jinx. So pretty cool stuff. I think that's Samus as well. So yeah, artist, yeah, pretty cool stuff. I'm pretty excited to see what else she can bring. Maybe one day we might get League of Legends stuff and we could see this format. Now lastly, what I just want to touch on is Sensor Tower. They released some data with regards to VeVe sale figures. So now this gives us a bit more of an idea, because here what they've done is they basically shown installs of NFT apps. Now back in late January, early February is where we saw the NFT boom. That's where OMI's price went to like 1.3 cents. You know, that was all-time highs, and you know, everyone thought it was going to go to the moon, and then we kind of crashed pretty hard. So back then, you know, VeVe wasn't actually making that much money. You know, they made like 9k and then they jumped to 88k the next month. But really, we couldn't really justify, you know, these really the price of OMI back then compared to just how much revenue they were making. It was pretty much a bubble. The bubble popped, and then we came down to this, you know, low in July. But since then, since steady growth, the number of installs has been justified by their revenue, specifically because, you know, Marvel and Disney, they pretty much pumped VeVe pretty hard. And now it looks like we're back on the same level as we were in January. I think it's because, yes, VeVe is doing really, really well, but also the general NFT market seems to have recovered quite well. People are getting back into it. You know, the people stuck around even through the, you know, the dump, they're doing better off now. And you know, if we have a look at VeVe's revenue here, it is 34.5 million. So you know, since July they've basically increased by 50% every month, which is absolutely remarkable, you know, since June actually. So you know, month on month about 50% increase. So I think a lot of people who did try to model this, they just assumed, you know, VeVe from like around here in April time, they're, you know, going to be making double that. But you know, they've smashed that, and I believe by the end of the year they probably will break 50 million. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking, just because they have a lot more drops coming up as well. So pretty exciting times ahead. Now, just a point on price of OMI for today. So previously we said that, you know, OMI, it was going to come down to 0.5 cents, but from there it was a pretty critical point. Would it bounce back, or could it break down to 0.4 cents? And that was dependent on us, you know, just receiving a little bit of good news, a little bit of reassurance, and that's exactly what we got. So you know, people started to see that the MTL is going to roll around soon, just because there is now evidence of it. And also IMX and VeVe, they have been tweeting a lot more recently about, you know, their partnership together. And you know, even David Yu, he tweeted a few memes. So I think IMX is probably getting closer, but I would really like to know what the issue has been. Not because, you know, I'm trying to be pushy with VeVe and whatnot, but just because I'm a software developer myself. I have spoken to Immutable X as well on multiple occasions, trying to onboard one of the projects I'm working with, and it's been very difficult. I can tell that they're, you know, struggling with the scaling issues, but it will be interesting to know just what the issues was with migrating from one chain to another, just for my own knowledge. But you know, if anyone does find out, then do let me know. On that point, you know, we did bounce back up 0.5, so it looks like we are coming back to this previous support of 0.73 cents. I believe we will touch that soon. It looks like we are looking to break to the upside. Now previously, you know, I had this trend line, just 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, 4 bounce, and I think a 5th bounce we will see around about this 1 cent region. When that's going to happen, I think it's going to happen soon. I believe this year was my kind of target of hitting 1 cent, and that was pretty much purely down to if we get over to immutable, if we get over to immutable X, and then we see a couple of exchange listings you know, coinciding with that, then yes, I think we will hit that 1 cent mark. Because, you know, people have kind of forgotten just how big of an impact exchanges have. Just, you know, just to add some context, when we had the Uniswap stuff going on, we went from kind of this 0.8 cent range up to 0.12 cents. You know, that's a 50% increase. A 50% increase from here, 0.67 cents, should pretty much see us at about 1 cent. Which exchanges can do that? Well, you know, we have the obvious ones, but I would like to see, you know, like KuCoin at least, and then, you know, eventually Binance, Coinbase, that kind of thing. But for now, I think we're pretty solid here. And just going back to the point of VeVe's revenue numbers, you know, these are global figures. You know, VeVe, they're doing everything compliantly. They're literally ticking every checkbox they need to tick in order to get past the initial kind of checkboxes for Coinbase and Binance. You know, they do look at several things, including legitimacy of the project and trading volume, things like that. VeVe has definitely ticked the boxes for both Binance and Coinbase, I believe. So I think we could see those in the near future. But yeah, I believe the next stage is going to be to test this 0.73 cent range again. I believe we will see that within the next week or so, assuming nothing crazy happens to the overall market again. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to go through with you guys today. We will be hosting the community quiz on the 16th, which is the Thursday, so that is about just under 2 weeks from now. So pretty exciting stuff. We have Reese joining us, who will be doing an AMA and also participating in the quiz again. You know, if anyone remembers from the last quiz, Reese was absolutely smashing it. You know, he kind of came in the top 5 until the very end, where I think someone knocked him out. So it's going to be pretty exciting stuff. We're also going to have the other kind of ECOMI guys as well, the content creators, so definitely do join in for that, and check out the link below for the official ECOMI OMI community merch. We've got some t-shirts there. You can use my code K10 to get a 10% discount, and proceeds do go towards supporting our giveaways and events. ECOMI is also going to be giving us some additional prizes to give away, so you do not want to miss that quiz. It's going to be pretty fun, and you know, it'll be Christmas themed, so expect some cool Christmas themed questions. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to go through with you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.